I have one badge, Howard Alum. But you're Howard Alum, Howard basketball. That's a huge honor. And when you walk through life, you need an army of people around you to be successful. And if it weren't for the army of men that I met at Howard, men and women that I met at Howard, I wouldn't be standing here today. Howard provides you a network for life. Some will be in your wedding, some will be at your baby showers, some will be your pallbearers. It's an army for life. This group here, I hope, is an army for life. The network at Howard, the alumni, it doesn't matter what part of the globe. I ran technology for Diageo for 10 years. I'll be in London if I have my Howard shirt on. Someone will point to me and say, HU, and I say, you know, exactly. Every part of the globe, there's a Howard alum. You're standing on Howard ground, 150 years of history. Think about it, right? Former slaves couldn't go to school, so General Howard created a school for former slaves, and it's that tradition that you stand on. People who came out of the fields, came out of being enslaved, and then got degrees, and it's that tradition that we stand on. Black excellence, Black empowerment. And I think it's important that you create these relationships that you will carry through life, because it's those relationships that will, doesn't matter what you do in life, you can pick up the phone and call your army of men that you met in Howard, the army of bison. And then tonight, when you stand on this floor, you stand with that tradition behind you. You know, these halls here, some of these buildings were built by former slaves, or built by slaves. But you're standing here tonight as proud bison with that tradition behind you. So when you show up here tonight, you show up here as bison with a big heart. I want to build on what Coach said. They'll come around and look to see who you are and what you're doing, but they don't know what's in your heart. What's in your heart is 150 years of tradition that you will be bringing into this arena tonight. But more importantly, when you leave Howard, you leave with a tradition that is unimaginable. It's a tradition that, and it's near and dear to me because I met my wife there, my son just graduated there, and you know, he went back to homecoming this year. It was really heartwarming to see him as an alum going to homecoming, because all his friends who he went to school with came back. And I go back to homecoming every year. And funny story, I was setting up a meeting one day. We had to be in Europe. And my boss said, I said, no, that weekend wouldn't work for me because it's Howard's homecoming. And he said, what is it about? You go back every year. You know, I went to Cornell and I never went back to homecoming. I said, you didn't go to Howard. There's a big difference. Howard calls you home every year, except for COVID. I went back. You know why? Because it's a family reunion. It's an environment that you will cherish for the rest of your days. So I'm always going back to get a piece of it because I miss it and I cherish it. And it's what's in my blood, it's what's in my DNA, it's what's giving me the strength. When I walk into rooms and I don't see people like me, and I was in technology, so I was a bit of a unicorn. I will walk into spaces, and I'm the only black face. But Howard gave me the strength and the pride that I never was an imposter, never had an imposter syndrome. I walked into that room belonging. So when you come here tonight, you belong on this court. And victory will be yours because you belong on this court. So tonight, clap it up, man, right? Remember, the Howard community is all behind you, looking at you. This is a big game. It's a statement game. But it's also the fact that you're at Howard. It's a statement school. So wear it proud and carry it with you for the rest of your days. Okay? So clap it up.